Hello, and welcome. My name is Cassandra Bell, and I am your host for the podcast Wise Woman Magic, where we acknowledge, celebrate, and support our amazing wise women. Hello, and welcome to Wise Woman Magic, our fourth episode. First, before we begin, I wanted to say thank you so much for replying to the poll that we've got in our a Wise Woman Wisdom group. It actually really means a lot, and it means that I can actually start structuring these episodes so that they are more resourceful for you. So, and that's pretty much what it's all about. So, but because of that, this week we have so much information that it may be a little bit more than 20 minutes or 25 minutes. We might be running over. And when we have our guest speakers starting, because we do have guest speakers lined up for February, it means that our episodes will become a little bit longer again. So bear with me while we find the right structure for you guys and keep giving the feedback so that we can keep giving the information and we can keep giving the value. Okay, so because of all the information, I'm going to jump in. Now, just as a reminder, even though I take all my notes and all the rest of that sort of stuff, that's to help me stay on track more than anything else. And the information will always be flowing through at the same time. So I may talk a little bit faster than normal. For those who know me, know that when I channel, my words come out very quickly, and it's like a gush of energy, just like someone's turned the tap on it, and it's like, phew, out it comes. So bear with me, keep up. If you have to watch it a second time, then watch it a second time, and a third time, and a fourth time. And by all means, make sure that you comment on the video so that I know that you're watching, and let me know if it resonates with you, or if it doesn't. Let me know if it's working with you. I know I watch a friend of mine most weeks, and I find that her messages have resonated for what I have just gone through rather than what I'm about to go through. Mind you, that's what I find with most readings and most messages anyway, when I get it from someone else. So we're going to jump straight into it. Um, bef- but before I do, I just actually want to share with you how I bring in this information for you guys. So, first of all, I sit nice and quietly. I know, can you believe it? Um, and I let the feel of the week come through. Okay. And it's usually only one or two words, and I hold on to that. And that's pretty much something that I need to take notice of. It's almost like a building block for the week. And then once I have that, then I actually choose a card. And the card that I choose, the first card that I choose, is the card that's going to pretty much underpin everything, right? So I actually see that we have, like, it's a line. What's above the line is what we're going to be working towards, and what is below the line is the challenges or the shadows that are going to come up for us to be able to look at, to work with, and to grow from. Okay, so our below the line, or our shadow card today, is actually about attachment. See, and the attachment comes from, this card actually comes from the Energy Oracle cards by Sandra Ann Taylor. Um, and it's one that I've held onto this deck for a long time, because I actually feel that even though it has a little bit of a shadow side, it resonates quite deeply with the colors and um, just with all the messages and so forth. Anywho, so this one is about attachment. Now, as you guys know, I take a card, I work with the messages coming through from the card rather than from the book, because I find that each person has their own intuitive connection, and you need to go with what resonates for you rather than what resonates for the author. The only deck that I have come across that is in the same level of messaging, the same intuitive messaging, um, and I shouldn't say the same, it's a similar feel, is Izzy Ivy's deck, which is the reason why I use it all the time. Okay, because it's almost like an additional for me. So, like I said, today's card that is underpinning our shadow work is attachment. So in everything that we do this week, if we're coming up against something, if we're coming up against like a barrier or something that's going to stop us from getting to the next stage, or if we're a little bit fearful of growth, whatever it might be, this is the card that we need to think about. What are we attached to in this situation that is holding us back? Okay. And sometimes those attachments are comfort zoned, like they're trying to keep us in the comfort zone, rather than push us into stretching and growing. And that's okay as well. But we need to know why it's holding us back. Sometimes it can be attachments of unhealthy thinking. It can be attachments of unhealthy um, dietary, anything like. So this is what we need to look at, is the attachments behind everything. So just remembering that is our shadow card, and you need to apply that to everything, or to this reading. Okay. Alrighty. So once we have our attachment card, we've got the feel for the week, we've got our attachment card, then I always ask for a card um, for the actual week for ourselves. And that's the ones that I use from Izzy Ivy, okay, from the Beyond Lemuria cards. And sometimes I'll get 1, 2, or even 3 cards. Sometimes I'll get more depending on what it is. This week we have 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to go through those. Now, what's really interesting is not only do I get extra information coming through with these cards, but sometimes the numbers on the cards also mean something as well. So I'm a really big believer in patterns and numbers, and basically signs coming through on every level from the universe to help us to come through. So that will be our cards for the week, and I'll go through them very shortly. We're also going to have a quick look at some energy coming through, what to be aware of. For example, we've got the Aquarius season that has just begun, or will begin as of Tuesday. And we're just going to take that a little bit into consideration as well. Now, I don't like stating that the galactic energies are going to make a profound impact on you. It will only make a profound impact on you if you are dialed into that energy and you take that on board. Okay, so as spiritual or energetic beings, if you are actually dialed into your own vibration, attached to or connected to the universe, that is going to be your primary influence, no matter what's happening out in the world, whether it be on Earth or on the galactic scale. If you are connected deep enough from your own divine inner being to the universe, okay, or your highest being, that is going to take precedent no matter what. Okay, so just remember that. Okay, so let's get into it, because we've got a lot to cover today, and yeah, and I'm going to be losing my voice if I don't be careful. Okay, so noting that attachment is our card that's underpinning our growth and our shadow work. Here are our cards for the week. Okay, so first card is our Earth Star Chakra. Okay, so I've been working with the Earth Star Chakra for about 20 years now, and it didn't really become mainstream until, I don't know, about 5-10 years ago, I suppose. But the Earth Star Chakra, and I'm just looking at the card because I like looking at the cards while I'm doing readings. Sorry, guys. The Earth Star Chakra is all about initiation. Okay, it's about initiation, oneness. It's about setting foundations. It's about beginnings. Because this card is also number 1 in the pack, I'm taking note of the numerology, and the numerology is the new beginnings part, right? It's about initiation. I'm just checking my notes to make sure that I'm staying on track. So the Earth Star, yeah, it's about initiation. It's about setting foundations. It's about coming home to oneness, because it all starts with you. So if you can come back to oneness with self, oneness with the universe, this is where your connection is going to start. By taking note of your intuition, by setting the foundations, this is what's going to make the difference. Now, taking into account the feel for the week, which was strategy and rest, okay, you need to really look at, sorry, I didn't go over it before, but with strategy and rest, it's all about being aware of what resources you have available to you, what resources you need, and when to use those resources. So that's where the strategy comes in. It's not about strategy in regards to how to get something. It's about what do you have at hand to make sure that you are whole, make sure that you are at one with yourself, and make sure that you are being in make sure that you have integrity with yourself at the same time. Okay, so this is all about setting your foundations. So what is it that you want to achieve this week? Set your foundation, know what your resources are, know what resources you need, and make sure that you are intuitive, you are connected with yourself, so that you are able to set those foundations without stretching yourself to the point that you become weaker. Okay, so if that means that you have to start small, start small. If it means that you have to take note of what your resources are and rethink an idea, then do so, but make sure that you're always following your intuition at the same time. Okay. um okay. Okay, so knowing that you have to set your foundations, knowing that you have to be strategic with the resources at hand, remind yourself or look at what you have in your toolbox. Okay, your toolbox of skills, of skills, of understanding, of knowledge, of resources, and knowing what it is that you want to achieve this week, knowing that you need to set your foundations. Just check in with yourself at the same time and find out what is holding you back. Find out what you are attached to that is not resonating with your goal for the week or with the foundation that you're trying to set. There's no use on holding on to something that is not going to work or make your foundation weaker than what it should be. Okay, so whether or not this attachment is due to a belief system, or even that you want to use a particular resource that really doesn't quite fit the foundation that you're building. Why are you wanting to use it? Is it because you've paid so much you feel like you need to use it? What is it? Okay, so have a real look at that and check what your resources are, and go with your intuition on how to set that foundation, knowing that you're going to have to drop something that may not fit. And that's okay. It may fit something else. It's not that you're getting rid of it completely unless it's a belief system that does not work for you. Just realize that that resource is not available to you, or is not a good fit for you, might be a better way, is not a good fit for you at this point in time. Okay. Yeah, so check on what's holding you back. Ask yourself, what is keeping you from making the goal happen? Okay, so just check in throughout the week, knowing that you're going to set your foundations, you're going to check out your resources, and that you're going to actually step into this space, and you're going to leave behind what does not serve you this week. Okay, which actually moves us into our second card. Okay, let me make sure I've got it. Okay, so our second card, guys, here we go. Can you see? I don't know if you can see. Our second card here is Shine Your Light. And you might have been able to see that this is actually a hybrid, which is really interesting because our third card is also a hybrid. So this one is a hybrid, but as you'll be able to tell, it's all, hang on, let me put it back up again. Okay, so this beautiful hybrid here is part mermaid and part woman, and she is shining. She is luminescent. If you can think of the scales on fish or on mermaids or so forth, they're always luminescent depending on how the light is reflecting off them. Okay. So shining your light, number 44, okay, this is actually asking you to do what you love, to really check in. So this is a really good thing to take on board while you're actually organizing your foundations. What is it that you love to do? Forget about the money, forget about the responsibilities. We're only answering a question at this point in time. What is it that you truly love to do? Okay, what brings you the most joy? Because what brings you the most joy is what also raises your vibration. Because when you are loving uh, whatever it might be that you're doing, when you are in that space of passion and love for this project or for what you are doing, your vibration begins to rise, because that vibration of love doesn't matter what it is, it's going to affect every part of you. You know, we're not told to love universe and that's our vibration rising. We're told to love, you know, when we feel love, when we feel passion, when we feel joy, that raises our vibration. When we raise our vibration, we begin to shine more and more. And when we begin to shine more, and by shining, I mean your light, when you shine more, you actually bring into your circle, um, your circle of, um, how can I say that? Can you give me the word? I've got it on the top of my tongue. Um, your circle of influence, your sphere around yourself, right? You actually start manifesting more. So you start manifesting what's within you. Okay, so when you're in joy, when you're in passion, when you're in joy, in love, and you're in laughter, and you're in that space, your vibration raises. Your vibration then will rise. You'll start bringing in more manifestation, because you're actually bringing your vibration back up to a space of bringing more into your life that you love. So your life will then start getting a little bit better, okay? Or your experiences, I should say, will start getting more and more in alignment with your divine inner being. But you need to know what makes you happy. You need to know what makes you joyous and passionate about life, okay? So this is all about this. So, yeah. So there's a couple of different other bits and pieces here. So taking into account the attachment, when you're in this space of joy, look at what your belief systems are that brings you out of it. Okay, so we all have those little thoughts or those thinkings that we're in a really good space and something might bring us down a little bit. It might be self-doubt, or it might be, oh, so and so didn't like that, or so and so, you know, said this. Now they can say whatever they want, that's their business, they can do whatever they want, it's not their fault, right? But if you allow that to really dampen your spirit, one, you need to take responsibility for that, and you need to see why that actually made a difference. Okay, so where does that belief system sit within you that you believe it for it to actually affect you? Okay, so this is attachment of thought, attachment of emotion. You need to really look at it. Okay, so that's the first part of this, or the second part of this. So you look at the attachment of your thought patterns and your concepts, okay? Especially when you're in that high vibe flying space, okay? The other thing about this is, and I'm just going to bring it up so that, there we go. The other thing is that this card is is card number 44, and with card number 44, it's a master number. So we need to we need to make it take attention. We need, I don't know what the right wording is. We need to be attentive to the extra messaging that this is providing us. Okay, so number 44 is, well, first of all, number 4 okay, resonates with support and stability and the energies of solid foundations, which is what we were talking about previously. It's also about willpower and effort and worthiness and ability and inner wisdom. When we put the two together, we actually we're being asked to pay more attention to your intuition and your inner wisdom, to um, really come face to face, okay, with your belief. It's about knowing that you have the support to take on the learning, to to be confident, okay, of your own inner wisdom, is to be confident of your intuition, to be confident to actually accept and follow that intuition and inner wisdom, okay? So yes, this is a lot of inner work, but it's something that if you're prepared to do, it is going to provide you with so much growth that you will be wondering why you didn't do it before. Okay, so just remember that 44, number 44, shining your light, all of this is about connecting with your divine life purpose, or your divine um, your divine purpose or your mission, because that is what gives you the most joy. All right, when you are sitting in that joy, when you're sitting in that passion for life, when you're sitting in that space, you're raising your vibration. And if you have the courage to follow that intuition, that inner wisdom that is guiding you, and if you're prepared to look at what's holding you back from that, this is the this is where you will breach the old and you will walk into the new vibration of self. Okay, so this is such a huge week for everybody, like seriously. um okay, so moving on to the third card now. I'm just making sure I can see everything. I've got so much going on. Okay, so our third one. Now, I talked about the last card being a hybrid. Actually, I have to go back. Sorry, guys. I talked about the last one being a hybrid. You may feel like you're a little bit of out of whack, which is actually normal for the energy that's going on at the moment. To come back to self, you need to really come back to the heart, come back to that intuition, come back to the passion, come back to the joy. If you do not know what that is for you, can I suggest that you take a little bit of time out and you just lay down somewhere and you focus on your breathing into your heart, so that you can feel the energy within and allow it to be shown to you, okay? And that will come when your mind drifts, or when you have thoughts come up. Just let them come up, notice them, but don't hold on to them, okay? Sorry, I want to go back to the hybrid part. This is a reminder, okay? Oh my God, there's so many reminders and we've only got so much time. So the hybrid is all about understanding that we are both physical and energetic, that we are both mental and we are emotional, that we have these different parts within ourselves, and it's up to us to bring them together. It's up to us. It comes back to the strategy and the resources. It's up to us to understand what needs to take a front step, what needs to be blended, and what needs to be set back. So if it's an emotional thing, you don't want your mental logic coming in. If it's a physical thing, well, then you don't want to be sitting in the spiritual space, because you actually need to do and act. So be aware of that and find the balance. Okay, remember, check your resources. What do you need? What's going to help you? Check what your attachments are. What is holding you back? What needs to be released at this point in time? Yeah. Okay, fantastic. Third card. I know there's just so much information. Third card. Okay, so this is Journey to Wholeness, and it's a number 33. Master numbers coming out of the woodwork today. So, journey to wholeness. Again, this is another hybrid. Okay, hybrid. So, hybrids have been around since Lemuria, and even prior to that, to Atlantis, to the fall of Atlantis, and so forth. So, sorry, let me rephrase that. Hybrids have come from the fall of Atlantis, okay, and it came because there was so many. Actually, it's before that. Let me go back. Let me go back. We're going to go through a really quick lesson before we jump into this. Okay, so hybrids came about long time ago, and I'm not going to get into the debate of how humans came about or anything else like that. Suffice to say, in our very distant past, we actually had a galactic race who came in and made some major genetic DNA changes, okay, back before the time began. Those genetic changes were basically an experiment, and there was a lot going on. And I don't need to go through all of that at this point in time. However, there was some major genetic DNA changes, and that allowed for basically the growth of humankind as we are at the moment. But we also went through um, other eras, other epochs, other eras and periods of time where, let's face it, a lot of people think is not true. That's fine. We're working multidimensional. We're working on this plane. There is so much that has happened on planet Earth that our history as it is known, okay, that is as taught, is not whole. It is not holistic. It is not taking the whole into account. Okay, so back to the fall. So when Atlantis was falling, there was a lot of things that were happening that just should not have happened. Okay, again, another story for another time. Basically, though, when the fall happened, there was a lot of fallout in different ways. So, for example, we had a lot of different species that, due to the fall, due to the amount, sorry, due to the fall, they amalgamated with other species that should not have happened. Okay. Well, I suppose it should have happened because everything happens for a reason, but they amalgamated. And one of these species were the eel people, is what I call them, is the eel people. And they actually held all the darkness, I suppose. They held all the dark wisdom, all the shadow wisdom, and they were frightening, okay? But they also held all the wisdom that if you were prepared to work through the shadows, you would actually have this wisdom as well. And so that's just an example of a hybrid. Other hybrids came about, such as the mermaids and the mermen. And there are so many more hybrids. But anywho, this is another hybrid, and this hybrid is almost like it's like a hybrid three times over. It's the wrong way to say it. It's almost like a hybrid three times over because, first of all, it was an incomplete hybrid, but due to the work that was due to the work that was performed, undergone, the growth, the intense emotional work that was done, there became a wholeness on who they were. So it wasn't so much a wholeness of body, it was a wholeness of heart, a wholeness of spirit, a wholeness of the overall vibration. Okay. So the journey to wholeness is all about feeling like you're outcast, feeling that you don't belong, but you do the work and you realize, you recognize that you're never meant to belong. You're never meant to become part of the herd or anything else like that. You're actually becoming whole in who you are as an individual, and that is magical, right? So the journey to wholeness is actually all about, I've got to go back to my thing now. It's all about healing. Okay. It's about healing yourself as a whole entity, as a whole vibrationary entity, which is fantastic because it means that journey to oneness, that journey to the connection of self and to the universe as a higher being is right on point. Okay, so this is what it's all about. So knowing that it's all about wholeness, knowing it's about working through all of that emotional shadow work. Okay, look at what is holding you back. Why do you want to fit in? Why do you want to be accepted by the majority? Why? What is your attachment to needing to be accepted? Okay. So that's taking into account our shadow work. Then we have to look at our resources, our strategy, our rest. Okay. So this is all about what it's about giving. Let me rephrase. Come back. It's about understanding who you are, your gifts, what makes you unique, and accepting that in its entirety. Okay. Now, the number 3 is also about is also about ascended masters. Okay, so it's about connecting with ascended masters, working with ascended masters, and so forth. So again, it's about raising that vibration and so forth. The number 33 is about manifestation. Okay, it's about self-expression, skills, communication, and manifestation. Okay. So when you come into your wholeness, when you journey into your oneness, it means that you are actually aligning with your own personal vibration, and you then manifest and you create what it is that brings you joy. Okay, what it is that you are meant to do in this world. You will find that compassion and joy will become second nature to you. Okay, does that make sense? All right, so let me check my notes because I know I went off course. Self-acceptance, wholeness, loving self. It's also about not judging others. Okay, it's about accepting yourself as you are, but it's also accepting other people as they are as well, and understanding that they have their own unique vibration and connection with the universe, and paying homage to that. We might not like it sometimes, but that's okay. They're just like us. They are not perfect, and they are within their own growth cycle as well, which is another part of the attachment. Don't see other people as needing to be perfect to make you happy. Don't see leave the judgment alone so that you can actually love the people, or you can bless the people in their natural state as they are. Because when we start interacting on that level, either the people who are there to learn from or learn from with us will stay in our life, or they will not. Okay, so stay in your lane and really connect with yourself, accept you for who you are, and allow yourself to be joyous in who you are. Okay, so that's our 3 cards. I'm keep on going off tangent, so I do apologize. No, I don't. I keep going off on tangent, and someone needs to hear it. There we go. So that's our 3 cards for today. Okay, or all our cards for the week, I should say. So that's our cards for the week. Now, I'm just having a look at them. Master numbers we've gone through. Okay, cool. Now there's a question here that I've asked, and I'm going to share it with you, though it's not 100% in alignment with these cards, and I think somebody needs to hear it. So my question is, what are you compounding with your wounded psyche? Okay, so when we have a wounded psyche, which we all do at one point or another, because that's how we grow, and there's nothing wrong with that. If we don't grow, we stagnate. It's that simple. Um, but what is a part of you that may be wounded that is actually compounding the issues that you are coming across, or the challenges that you are coming across at this point in time? Okay, so that might be a really good question for the week. What are you compounding with your wounded psyche? Alrighty. Lastly, we've got, not lastly, sorry, we've got some galactic information, or energetic galactic information. Where did I put it? Okay, so the season of Aquarius begins on Wednesday, and this is actually going to be going on for quite a few weeks. Okay, and it's going to help you to create. It's going to help you focus on community. Whether you're going to be creating community, you want to be a part of community, or whether you want to remove yourself from community, this is actually going to be a really big thing. So for you, it's about thinking outside of the box. It's about innovating, trying new things, and really coming home to what it is that you need uh, to support you in being who you are as the unique being that you are. Okay, so sometimes community can either support you in being all that you are, and sometimes it can try and conform you and put you into a box. Okay, so have a look at what your community is doing at this point in time for you. How is it working? And community can mean your friends, your family, your support network. How is it supporting you, or how is it holding you back? What are the attachments that are keeping you small? Okay, from throughout the week, you may feel that you're a little bit tense. There may be some tense situations, or situations that feel a little bit hostile or fiery. You may feel a little bit erratic, or there might be turbulence within your week. Remember to come back to self, breathe. Okay, and try and see it from a higher point of view. When you see it from a higher vibration, even if you need to step back for a little bit, you'll find that you'll be able to ride those waves quite easily, and people won't actually give you the shits like they can do. Alrighty. So as of I think it's nearing the end of the week, it may really start coming to a head. It may start playing on your fears. You might sort of start feeling really low. Just remember that you are stronger than your fears. You have the power to bring yourself back into alignment. You are your greatest tool in your toolbox. Okay, so if that means that you have to start every day with a mantra, then do so. Okay, do whatever it is that you need to do to keep yourself at a higher vibration than what you normally would be. Okay, because we're going to be doing this with intent now. This is all about intent. Okay, these episodes are about supporting you, it's about acknowledging you, but we need to put in the work with intent. Okay, so we're showing the intent. I know I keep saying intent, but truly this is what it's all about, is the intention to live a higher vibratory lifestyle. Okay. Alrighty. Now there's a couple of things that I want to go over, some admin, some events that are happening within the group. So bear with me as I find all of that. Okay, so first of all, you guys know that we have Wyse Woman Wisdom. We've got an online event happening on the 23rd. If you have not got a ticket, please jump in now. It is online, so you will be able to do it from home. It's a Zoom meeting, so come in your best pajamas, make sure you have a glass of wine, and enjoy a night of connection and support. Okay, the good thing with that is that I'm also going to be talking about next week. I'm going to be talking about this book. Okay, stages of self. Now, this was written by a friend of mine, Melly. She's absolutely lovely. She's based in the Eastern States. One of the bonuses of being able to do these on Zoom is that we can also talk to amazing women in the Eastern States. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about that, and Melly and I are organizing an interview for February once school goes back. So we'll have a little bit of a chat about this next week. And then if you have any questions, you can actually, we're going to be having a chat about this book at the next Wise Woman event. And if you have any questions or anything else like that, I can make sure that you send it through to me so that I can ask Melly for our interview. And when we do our interview, they'll be all answered for you. Okay. So I'll talk more about that on the day. So it starts at 5:30. Tickets are only $11. So please, this is what's going to be opening it up. If you've got friends, invite them. Let's get this going. This is your network, my network. We are supporting women right across the state. We are supporting women right across Australia. And the more that we get interaction, the more chance we've got to push this global, which is a huge plan of mine. Okay. So that's happening end of January. We have got guest speakers coming in February, and we also have some amazing wise women in our group who have events, and they will have their links up on Monday. Okay. So first of all, we have Laura, and she does chakra dance, 7 keys to freedom. Now, I did have that. I did actually have that up here. Let me see if I can bring that up, and I'll give you the date. Give me just a second. I did have this up earlier, so I should have kept it up. I'm so sorry. There we go. So it is being held on the 28th of January, which is outside this week, but that's fine. It's 7 keys to freedom, chakra dance, and it is being held in Scarborough. So it is an in-person event. If you want to know more, we will have the link for you in the comments below. Okay. The other beautiful, amazing person that we have is Aaliyah, also known as Pauline, and she has got her, she's actually offering a deal. So you can purchase a 1-hour reading with her, and you will receive a channeled clearing and protection mist as well. Okay, so I'm just seeing if I can bring this up. Now you can check Aaliyah out on her Facebook page, and I will ask her to share that link very, very shortly. Here we go. With every 1-hour reading purchased, you will receive your very own channeled clearing and protection mist in one. This is a special spray made by Aaliyah, and here we go. And of course, it will come with your own special bottle. Label, etc., etc. Book it prior to February, because the offer ends on the 28th of February. So again, we'll have all of those links up in the comments for you, just to make it nice and easy. Okay. So that is us for today. My goodness, I think I've definitely gone over time. Have a fantastic week. Remember, please share with us in the comments. The more comments, the more emojis that we get, the more that it can we can fine tune this process. We really want an interactive network, because the more interactive we are, the more we're helping our fellow sisters. And of course, we're also acknowledging ourselves. We're acknowledging and supporting and celebrating all the women in this group, and that's what it's all about. It's not about 1 or 2 people, it's about everybody, and that is what that's what Wise Woman Wisdom is all about. We all have wisdom, whether it was birthed with us or whether it was birthed through our own life experiences, and we want to know more about it. Now, the fantastic thing is that I've got 3 women already lined up. I know it sounds amazing, is for me. 3 amazing women in 3 very different genres. And I'm really, really looking forward to sharing this. So if you have a story that you want to share, please let me know. Yes, we want to hear about your business, but more importantly, we want to hear about you. We want to hear about your story, your wisdom, why you have done what you have done so far. Whether it's you're a mum at home and that's your dream, or whether you're a mum at home and you want to do more. It doesn't matter. If you're a business person, whether you're a mum, whether you're a single, happy person just waiting for the borders to open to travel, whatever it might be, we all have our own wisdom and we want to hear about it. Thank you for listening. Have an amazing week. And I will talk to you again, obviously through the week, but have an amazing week. And I will talk to you soon. Ciao.